Hello and welcome to another edition of the Hoof GP. In this one we're going to talk about fat cows v skinny cows and what this pickup and this car have got to do with that. So behind me I've got a 2017 Nissan Navara Tecna. This pickup is made for doing a bit of off-roading, but mostly heavy haulage and going over sort of rougher terrain roads like the one we're on today. But what on earth has a pickup truck got to do with fat and skinny cows, you ask? Well, actually, it's a fantastic illustration of how the different body types of cows can really impact on lameness within your herd or within the cows that you see in the fields. This pickup behind me, for instance, has got big chunky tyres that are built for absorbing impact. So when we drive down a gravel road with it, you're not going to feel very many bumps at all, because that's literally what it's designed for. Why don't you feel bumps? Well, the tyres work as shock absorption, so all of the impact of little stones, the bumps, undulations and the potholes you go over aren't transferred directly through the chassis. So if you take the cow for instance, if you have a fatter cow, she has a big fat thick digital cushion, and that is basically the interior or the airspace in a tyre. If she doesn't have a big fat digital cushion, then all of the impacts that the soles actually endure are passed directly onto the corium and the bone, or the chassis in case of the cow, which is the bone or the skeleton obviously, and that is why you get sole bruising, sole ulceration, and you get severely bad white line cracks, because it's going directly onto the laminae corium. Now if your cow was big and fat, she would have a thicker digital cushion, so that squidgy bit that is basically the tyres on our truck behind us. So as you can see, when we drive over the stones, the tyres themselves actually cushion the impact of all of the little stones and the bigger stones, and that stops the impact going onto the wheels, onto the subframe of the pickup and transferring to us, the passenger, which is basically the skeleton and the internal anatomy of a cow. So the pickup has 285 60/18 tyres on it, which means they're 285 millimeters wide. 60% of that 285 is how high they are, and the 18 is the diameter of the actual wheel itself. In the case of the car, it has 275 30/19 tyres. So that's 275 wide, and 30% of that is the height of the tyre here. So you can see that the top of the tyre is much closer to the rim of the wheel. So that's representing our very skinny cow or lean cow, because it has a very slim digital cushion. It really can't absorb as many impacts as easily from the sole up into the digital cushions. So it won't protect the corium quite as well as the pickup truck's digital cushion would. Now the difference is, this car is pushing out 450 horsepower. The rear tyres are being changed every 4,000 miles. On the pickup truck, they get changed around 40,000 miles. So as you can see, there's a massive difference. The trade-off is that you get a lot of power out of this, but it's very high input. As we drive along here just now in the pickup, we're doing nearly 20 miles an hour, and I'm pretty sure you can see how quiet it is in here. Listen. Hardly any road noise. There's certainly no vibrations or anything like that. Driving along in the M2 compared to the Jeep is much bumpier. I'm feeling every bump. You can hear much more carbon noise because every bump and every little rock is being felt right through the chassis, because the digital cushion on this car, the high input one, is much thinner. So the tyre wall and the air cushion inside the tyre is much thinner. So if you have Holstein cows or a fast car like this, then pretty much you're going to get high output, but you're going to need to do a lot to keep that high output machine in order. You need to change the tyres a lot, so you need to trim them a lot. You need to put a lot in. This car only gets 16 or 17 miles to the gallon, but you will get a lot more performance out of it, i.e. more milk. So in our analogy, the Holstein cow is the race car of the cow world. She's fantastic at producing milk, but in order to do so, conditions need to be very right for her to perform. She needs good quality feed, she needs a lot of feed, she needs a lot of maintenance like trimming, and she needs a lot of husbandry to make sure that she's in peak condition, otherwise it can go wrong. Whereas these Montbéliards maybe don't need quite as much upkeep, but the downside is they will not produce as much milk as the Holstein in the perfect environment. Anyway guys, I really hope you've enjoyed the video and I hope you found it informative. Drop me some messages in the comments below, and in the meanwhile enjoy the backdrop, which is where I was driving the car and pick up today, which is deep in the heart of the Galloway forest. Anyway, thanks for watching again and smash that subscribe button.